Running Fever, episode 444. Positivity. Welcome to Running Fever. My name is Michael Davis. This is a show about fitness, diet, and medicine. My goal is to live a long, healthy, happy, active life right up to the very end. It's all about living long and loving life. Well, it's a beautiful day at Lake Fayetteville, and I think it's about 77 degrees. No clouds in the sky whatsoever. I think this is pretty much the weather we had yesterday. I didn't really get out. I was working on this in the studio and stuff like that. Saturday it rained a lot for the first time in quite a while, but kind of made up for it because it rained a lot. But anyway, today's very nice, and I'm working on the shady south side of the Lake Fayetteville Trail. And I'm going to go ahead and start, since I now know how to actually use the fitness watch to track my walking. I realized last time I got done, I was driving home, and I hear the voice. You heard last episode, you heard the voice come out of the watch. Telling me all the stats again. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I have to manually turn it off. This is kind of, there's some kind of thing that automatically comes on. It like buzzes after 10 minutes. So maybe that had me going. I think my old watch might have had an automatic thing too, but none of that worked very well. So started it manually. I'll stop it manually, and this will give me an idea how many miles I've walked. And my pace was quite a bit slower than I thought last time. So I think I did eventually get over 3 miles for the total trip, but my speed was only about 2.2 miles per hour, a little less than a 30-minute mile, which is, I think, pretty poor. I don't usually focus on speed that much, but I think I need to keep up the pace a little bit. So I'm going to try to do that and increase my miles per hour. And although I wasn't too worried because it also tells me my heart rate, I noticed that my heart rate toward the end was 150, which I know is more than the previously recommended 144 for exercising. What I should get up to. I guess, I don't know if you call it working heart rate. Resting heart rate is the opposite of that, I guess. So yeah, again, I'm not really worried about the speed, but I just, I don't know, I think I used to do a 20-minute mile, and now I'm doing almost a 30-minute mile, so yeah, I just was passed by an e-bike, and there's a lot more of those all the time. And I was talking to a friend, and he informed me that the Razorback Greenway is referred to as bike trails, as opposed to walking or running trails or something more neutral than that. These are bike trails, and I think he indicated, and I'm not going to say I'm quoting him, I'm kind of paraphrasing and interpreting what he said, but my impression was that they built these, and I think the Waltons are mainly responsible for this, Walton family. And the purpose is basically to have an e-bike interstate. They, I guess, have decided that riding an e-bike is better for society than transporting yourself by car or bus or truck or whatever. And so they want people to start going to work and doing all their local business by going along these trails on e-bikes. I'm not going to go negative because today it's all about positivity, right? Anyway, that's how I understand it. And it's just, I'm just going to need to adjust because, you know, once it becomes as crowded as the streets, it will not be safe to walk, just like it's now not safe for bicycles to ride on the regular streets that cars occupy. So, and I remember and you, if you have listened to, for example, the Mount Nebo bench trail, I had at least one e-bike actually on the hiking trail. So, not that would become an interstate because I know apparently you can get most anywhere on these trails. I don't ever notice that, but that's what I've been told. So, meaning you can get to a business or a neighborhood or whatever. And of course, obviously that's not the case in a state park. But, there are places people can walk that it would be extremely difficult for a bike of any sort to go. And I think I've just got to man up and go find some more difficult trails, do some climbing, like go on the Yellow Rock Trail. I bet I don't see any e-bikes on the Yellow Rock Trail at Devil's Den State Park. For now, it's a beautiful day, like I said, and even though I've probably taken you through here before, I urge you to look at the YouTube video if you're listening only. Check out the YouTube video for a little bit of it anyway, and see all the wonderful leaves and the colors that are happening with the leaves on the trees, and all the leaves that I'm walking through and find themselves dispersed along the trail. It's beautiful. It is beautiful, and I get to walk through here, for now anyway, and enjoy it while getting some exercise and being active, increasing my lifespan, and giving me a little bit of happiness today. I'm not sure what brain chemical is involved in enjoying nature. I'm sure there is one, but certainly you got your endorphins going on with the exercise, and it doesn't really matter because it's very nice regardless of how it happens. And again, I would really like to know if you prefer these episodes as opposed to the in-depth, heavily researched studio episodes that I do. I like to do that because I'm curious. All the things that I've talked about are things that have just come up because I'm curious about them. And sometimes they're suggested by listeners as well. But nonetheless, I become curious at that point. And I didn't wear sunscreen today, but I knew I was going to be walking in quite a bit of shade because I knew I would head down the wonderful south side. And I gotta say, this looks quite different than it normally does. I'm glad I'm making video of it. With all the leaves and everything, it just makes it look different. And of course, you also get trees that are slowly undressing themselves, and so you can see more through them, such as the beautiful blue water of Lake Fayetteville. Okay, 0.8, 0 miles per hour. That's not good. Almost half a mile. Started while I was walking too, so there's no messing around, standing around involved in that calculation. Howdy. Yeah, trying to stretch it out a little bit here. So what do you do when you encounter negative feelings or you sense yourself going into a negative attitude? I think one of the things I can do is try to think of things that I'm grateful for. And every now and then I realize that I'm a relatively healthy person. There are many people who would not be able to do what I'm doing today. And I so often take that for granted. So it makes me feel good that I'm able to do that. No matter how I perform or how slow I walk, I'm still moving, still active, and I'm not really feeling any pain. So, but it seems like I'm limping for some reason. Another thing I can do is resolve to do good things in the future. You know, one of the things that you can do is to just be generous with your time. Try to do that. I just, sometimes it's hard for me to think of things to do. Some people I know, we call it being of service to others. Something about it's more blessed to give than to receive. I think that's true. I think we're blessed when we can be generous. And I think a lot of times I find that being generous isn't as much of a sacrifice as I thought it might be. So it's enjoyable, gives you a good feeling. And you're helping someone else, which is good in itself. I remember another friend said to me, and it's, I'm generally not good at remembering stuff like this, but right things just seem to be coming to mind today. She mentioned that it is good to live a life of abundance. The things we need, even the things we want, exist in abundance. We don't have to worry about not getting enough of something. There's enough to go around. And I'm not really talking about material things, although that could be true as well. I've never really gone hungry. I know some people have, but I have not. So I have good reason to believe that, at least in my life, things have been abundant for me, and I can be grateful for that. And, that's a positive thing. But more than that, I'm talking about things like, love, friendship. I think I just have to be open to these things, and they're abundant in the world. And so, that being the case, these good things will come to me. And I mentioned last time about visualization, and I was a little skeptical of it. I guess there's no reason to be particularly negative about it, but it seems to be part of every self-help guru's repertoire. And that is the things you want And again, when I say things, I'm not necessarily talking about material things. But what you want, visualize it, and it will come to you. The world, there's this force in the world that's working to bring things to you that you visualize, but you've got to get the idea out there. You got to know what you want. They often say, find pictures of things you want. Like if you want a particular kind of house, you find a picture of it, or you draw a picture of it, put it somewhere where you'll see it on a regular basis, or every day or whenever. If you want to have a fit body, take a picture of someone with a fit body. Visualize that fitness that you can achieve. Anyway, some of this, obviously, if you want a fit body, you have to exercise and all those things. There's a lot that goes into that, as we've talked about, and we continue to talk about on this show. If you want the big house, of course, you need to probably work in order to afford it. Or, maybe there's a way to obtain it in some other way, but buying it is the first thing that comes to mind. 0.9 miles. And 21 minutes, so that's pretty good. I don't know, my miles per hour just doesn't seem to be following along with that, but I can walk almost a mile, 20 minutes. That's kind of what was my standard before. And I can feel it. I can feel some extra effort today. A little bit harder to breathe. A little bit of fatigue in the legs. Glad I'm out here. I was out here Thursday. I was out here last Monday. If I can go out tomorrow or Wednesday, it'll be 3 times in a week, which is kind of my goal, at least my intermediate goal. I used to do 3 walks a week, and then I'd go to the gym 3 times a week. Eventually, I think I started, and years and years ago, I started just walking once a week because I'd make it all the way around Lake Fayetteville. So I was walking 5 miles. It takes a while, takes a couple hours. So I would just do that like on Sunday and then work out the other, maybe 4 times, and then maybe have a day off or a night off or something, I don't know. Well, she said my heart rate was only 84 beats per minute. So, good argument for maybe speeding up a little bit. Had a couple of those, I don't know what you call them, recliner bikes or something. Where you kind of half lay down on the bike, and it's really a tricycle, I guess. And they have the flag coming up because you're so low down. They want to, somebody needs to have something up at eye level. I don't think that would be comfortable. Maybe just brown, dried up and brown, I don't know. This is great. There's just no trees in my neighborhood, so I don't get to experience leaves in my yard or anything. All right, now I've got 1.1 mile an hour. That's better than 0. A lot of leaves down in the trench there, or the valley, or whatever. I bought some broccoli today. I don't usually buy vegetables other than tomatoes. There's some broccoli. I can make some stir-fried broccoli chicken. Probably pick up some fajita meat or something if I wanted to do beef, which tastes pretty good, but you know, red meat, heart disease, so forth. I think I got some chicken at home right now. It's thawing, so I was kind of thinking that would be used for tacos. You know, maybe I'll do that. Won't be eating at home tomorrow night, so if I do, then, well, either way, I don't remember this. I mean, I remember it. Maybe I just hadn't been this far in a while. How far have I gone? 1.3 miles, so it would be 2.6 if I turn back now. Veterans Park. Hadn't been here in a while. Haven't been walking enough to get this far. Veterans Memorial Park, Fayetteville. This is the place where I often see people just sitting in their cars. Motorized vehicle. I don't have to walk on the road, but I do have to at least cross it twice to get through the park. Let's do the first crossing. No motorized vehicles on either side. Nobody having a celebration at the pavilion. Still coughing after almost 7 weeks. Not coughing much, but every day. I guess I won't try to walk through the trash cans. Well, I think there's at least one person sitting in their vehicle. Yeah, I can see the attraction of it. You know, the park's kind of a nice place. This time of the week, it's not that busy. In fact, the parking lot on my way in was no cars in it when I arrived. I was the first one there, the only one there. Looks like we're getting to the bridge. Keep looking at the watch. We're at 1.5 miles. I'm going to try to go to 1.75 miles. People behind me, but they're not walking that fast. If I go left, I'm going to go up into, I don't know, Bentonville or something. What does it say? Yeah, Botanical Gardens, Lake Fayetteville. Veterans Memorial, Razorback Greenway, shopping, dining. And we're even across the bridge. We are really cruising here today, I'll tell you. Hi. Remember when that was just a trickle? I'm sure you can hear it. A lot of cracks in that wall. Water coming through the cracks. Nice. I mean, we did have a bunch of rain on Saturday, like I said. So. But it's flowing pretty good today. I mean, we're not that far from the marina. Yeah, I can see the lake. There it is, right there. Unbelievable. We went all the way from the Botanical Gardens to completely on the other side of the lake. Well, my watch only says 1.65 miles. Figure that out. Let's see, we've been going for 41 minutes now. That unexplained thing there, as always. Not much has changed. I hadn't been here in a while. This is beautiful, all right. Stop. Take a look. Mile and 3/4 exactly. So try to get 3.5 miles in today. Or technically, I definitely will because I've got to get back to my car somehow. Feels good in the cool breeze. I wonder if just this part of the Lake Fayetteville Trail is on the Greenway and the rest of it is not. Let me look into it a little more. I was, before the last episode, I did go to the website for the Razorback Regional Greenway. 40 miles of it. And we're just walking 3 today. Well, actually 1.5, 1 3/4. Plenty more where that came from. It's going to get some longer walks in, but of course it takes up more of my time. Plenty of days when I don't have anything scheduled in the evening. Usually don't.
I just want to be like get close enough with Nathan where I.
Anyway, 2 nights of the week are spoken for pretty much every week. The rest are usually not. So that's one reason why I can get out on Wednesday. I have something in the evening, but there should be enough time between getting off work and leaving for that thing to get in a workout and a shower. Maybe not this long. This can be 1.5 hours. So, well, still could probably do it. I don't usually eat until after I get home after the thing. So, Springdale, 2.1 miles. Probably the aquatic center is what that's talking about. It's on the border between Springdale and Fayetteville. I don't think they have a sign or anything, but I do know that that aquatic center is a joint project or joint location between Springdale and Fayetteville. Saw that somewhere. Starting to feel kind of tired here. We are in an upslope here. There's a bench, but I don't need a bench because I'm just going to keep on trucking here.
Just like, I did so much.
Oh, I'm meeting the same people I met on the way here. So I guess people are doing the same thing I did and going a while.
5 minutes, 36 seconds per mile. Duration, 49 minutes, 2 seconds. You completed 2 miles. Heart rate, 96 beats per minute.
Okay, heart rate's going up 96 beats per minute according to the little voice. I guess I get a report every mile. Whew, 96 beats per minute. Kind of goes up as I go along. It was almost at the end of the workout last time when I got to 150. No change on the weight loss plan. Still in the same plan, still in the same 10-pound range between 210 and 220. Been there for many months now. But now I'm exercising at least twice a week. Monday night, I'm gonna be good and tired tonight. Gonna feel good. I remember that, you know. Sometimes it's hard to remember, and that's why, it's hard to overcome that inertia, like I talked about a few episodes ago. Overcoming that inertia, part of the weight, mass that you're trying to move, the friction, is that I don't remember how good it felt to have completed a workout. So I don't get the contrast between that and not working out, the just lethargy and sort of, how do you describe it? Whatever the opposite of that good feeling is. How bad does it feel to just be on a daily grind of no activity, almost to the arena and back? I mean, I'm getting some more distance out here. This means more work, more calories burned, more activity. Constantly learning as I do this show. I remember recently, I hope you enjoyed the series on screen time and your health. One of those episodes, it was talking about how things, the problems of working remotely. A lot of people, they work remotely and they're more lethargic. I think some people are more focused and just head down working when they're at home. Not really true for me, but I think I still spend probably at least as much time in the chair as I do in the office. And, one of the risks of sitting a lot is blood clots. What they call thrombosis. Very dangerous, no matter where it happens, because those blood clots can go to your lung and cause a serious problem. So that's one reason why I want to be as active as possible. And my job has me, like most people these days, probably in the United States, has me sitting all day to counteract that. And it's also good, I think, just to periodically get up and I haven't been doing it much lately, but I used to do a lot of walking at work, actually. I used to come home with thousands of steps, just, I don't know. I don't do the same kind of walking there, but I do like to go outside, walk around the parking lot, around the building, and then come in the back door, and so I get just a little bit of walking. If I can do that 2 or 3 times, that's probably really good. So I've done that a little bit lately. Certainly not probably not 3 times a day, maybe once every few days. I don't know if I went into much about the cough and all that. My voice is still rough, and last night I had a pretty serious coughing fit, and the cough is different now. It's one of the things that, leads me to be concerned. It's not just anything normal, We know it wasn't the flu or COVID. They get tested for those things. A cold doesn't usually last more than 6 weeks, for sure. And so last night I woke up middle of the night coughing. Might have had something to do with acid reflux. I don't know. Had a pretty big meal, so might have had something to do with it. I don't think I was wearing my CPAP. Sometimes I turn on my side, and I don't really need the CPAP when I'm sleeping on my side, but I should have it. And I wasn't on my side, so I'll just kind of roll over or something. Anyway, so, a couple things might have contributed to that and irritated my throat, but as soon as I did, start coughing, and I jumped out of bed, stood up, tried to relax, because one of the differences between this cough and a normal cough that I've experienced is that for a second my throat closes and I can't really breathe. I'm just kind of sucking air and trying to breathe, but it only lasts for a second. But if I have a coughing fit like I did last night, and I can't get a breath, I just keep coughing. So that's kind of scary, and I need to go back to the doctor and see if that's, deeply suspect it is some kind of allergy. 2.5 miles, 1 mile to go. And we've been going for an hour. The last report at the 2 mile mark was that my speed was, what did it say? I don't know, 25 minutes for a mile, basically. I hadn't had a really good pickle in a long time. You guys like pickles? Put something in the comments today. Let that be your first comment if you've never commented. On the blog at runningfever.com/444 or on the YouTube video, youtube.com/@runningfever. I don't know why I was thinking that. Sometimes your brain acts in weird ways and just reminds you of the flavor of something. That's what I had. Flavor of a spicy pickle. I used to like those Clausen pickles they keep in the cooler section of the grocery store. Ate those for a while. Kind of got tired of them. Probably the best pickles I ever had. I was visiting this when I was in seminary. We used to go all over the state, during the summertime when we were not in school. And so one parish I was at, this family had us out for dinner, and they, a lot of the people in this town had gardens, and they would can their stuff, and and they'd eat it during the winter, And this particular guy had this spicy pickles, I wish I had the recipe. Not that I would be able to make it, but delicious, very spicy. Homemade pickles. And I can't see anything wrong with pickles health-wise. Certainly a vegetable, low-calorie food. May lose some of its nutritional value in the pickling process, but I'll do a whole episode on pickles. Just like I did with eggs, I think. Well, I think you could have an entire podcast just on eggs. So many varieties, but pickles. That'd be a good one. Healthy, tasty snack. Or garnish. Or side. A lot of places they give you a pickle for free. Seem to do that at catfish places or delis. I mean, if you go to like a real traditional deli and order a sandwich, they'll give you a pickle with that. Sometimes you have to pay for it. But I mean, I had one of those in Annapolis when I was there. Chicken Ruth's Deli. Chick and Ruth. Chick and Ruth's Deli. I wonder if chick is short for anything. I think it was a jazz musician, Chick Corea. Street clothes. Headed off to work or home or wherever. I may take all of Friday off. What if I did that? Take Friday off. I could walk in the morning after rush hour. So I've got a late lunch on Friday. And usually have another lunch every week. And I don't know when that's going to happen this week. So what if it happens on Friday? Well, could happen. Because like I said, I got a late lunch, so I got to have a regular time lunch. Wouldn't eat twice, of course.
Per minute.
How about that? Heart rate has gone down. My pace is 26-minute mile now. It's gone up. Guess I'm slowing down. But we've completed 3 miles. So says my watch. That's a great new feature. Now, if I could get it to automatically sync with a website or something, I wonder if it does that. I could keep my stats on my computer. Anyway, I'm happy with what I've got here. After years of complaining about this watch. So, should be about half a mile to go. Kicking the leaves on a nice fall. You won't hear this until 2026 sometime. And it'll probably be cold. At least here, it'll be cold. Not if you're listening in Mauritius, probably. But right now, it's mid to late October. In the upper south / lower Midwest. And it's very leafy here. I'm taking you back in time a little bit. That's what I do here. Remember when I was in school, we used to say, attitude check. I hate this place. Positive attitude check. I positively hate this place. Oh, humor is positive. Those interviews I've been watching talking about positive attitude. Said, go watch a funny movie or something. Get yourself in a positive mood. But I think it's been a pretty positive day today. Increased our speed, but we maybe extended our distance, or at least kept the same distance as last time. I think there's a little more hills on this one. And the Carol E. Van Skyak Trail, or Syak, I don't know which. So might have been a little difficult. Didn't get the heart rate up high enough. But I'm focusing on the positive. Talked about pickles and people sitting in cars and leaves and beautiful sunlight coming through the trees. Walked a longer distance on this trail than we've walked in a very long time. Even though I'm doubling back, I went all the way from Botanical Gardens to the walk towards the marina. Didn't get all the way to the marina, but got to kind of the middle of the walk where we could stand there and look at the beautiful lake for a minute. So that's the kind of thing you get on these live episodes with no script and no research, really. Do you like them? Leave something in the comments. I want to know what kind of episode you like better. And if you like the live ones, you should go back and listen to the initial run. You know, I don't know how long it was that I was going every day, but at the very beginning of the show, I didn't do any studio episodes. I did everything on the walk or the attempted run. 3 1/4, 3 1/3, 15/100ths left to go of a mile. I hope you've enjoyed this trek around half of Lake Fayetteville, or a good portion of Lake Fayetteville. My meandering thoughts. And hope you'll come away with this with an idea of being positive in your life. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm really going to try to do that, because there's no reason not to be positive. If I let those negative thoughts take over my brain, that's what I'm going to have in my life, negativity. If I let the positive flow in, I'm going to have a positive life. That's what I want. Happy, healthy, active. Right up to the very end. So, you got the fever, keep it burning. Otherwise, catch the fever. Talk to you next time on Running a Fever.